The Whispers of Harriet in Cape Cod. It was the summer of 2017 when I stayed at my aunt's beach house in Cape Cod. I'd been looking forward to the trip, quiet, isolated with the sound of waves as my alarm clock. It was supposed to be peaceful, but instead, it turned into something I'll never forget. The house sat on the edge of a narrow, rocky beach. At night, the ocean looked endless, black water blending with the sky, the tide pulling in and out with a rhythm that felt almost alive. The first night, I was unpacking when I heard it. Whispers, not the wind, not the creaking of the old house. Whispers low, drawn out and close. I froze. For a moment, I thought maybe a neighbor's voice carried through the night air, until I remembered there were no neighbors. The closest house was almost a mile down the shore. Then came the sound that shook me even more. Sobbing. A woman crying somewhere near the waterline. I stepped outside onto the porch, the wooden boards groaning under my feet. The ocean stretched out in front of me, silver in the moonlight. The beach was empty. No footprints. No figures. Just sand and water. The crying stopped. The whispers faded. I told myself it had to be my imagination, just nerves from staying alone. But the next night, it happened again. Louder this time. The sobbing was so raw, so heavy with grief, that it pulled me off the porch, my bare feet sinking into the cold sand. And then I saw her, just for a second. A woman standing waist-deep in the ocean, her long hair plastered her face, her shoulders trembling as if she were still crying. And then she vanished. The waves crashed against the rocks. The beach was empty again. I ran inside and locked every door. The next morning, I told my cousin Eric what I'd heard. His face went pale, like I had just said something forbidden. "You heard her," he said. "Her who?" I asked. He lowered his voice. "Harriet." Eric told me Harriet was a young woman who lived in Cape Cod decades ago. One night, after a fight with her husband, she walked along the shore and never came back. Some people say she slipped into the tide and drowned. Others whispered her husband followed her into the night and that she didn't fall. Her body washed up 3 days later. But the locals say her spirit never left. Eric leaned in then, his voice almost a whisper itself. People around here all say the same thing. Don't go into the water after dark. That's when she calls. I try to laugh it off, but Eric didn't smile. He meant it. That night, I couldn't sleep. Around midnight, the whispers started again. This time, they weren't outside. They were inside, like they were crawling through the walls. The sobbing rose into a desperate wail. And then I heard it. My name, whispered, carried from the ocean. "Come, please come." I pulled the blanket over my head, my heart racing so hard I thought the sound alone might give me away. The crying didn't stop. It went on for hours. When I finally drifted off near dawn, I dreamed of the ocean, of Harriet, her hand reaching up through the waves, her lips blue, her voice begging me to join her. I left the beach house the next morning. I didn't even pack everything. I just drove until the sound of the ocean was far behind me. To this day, I don't know if what I heard was real, or if the story itself haunted the house. But I do know this. If you ever stay near that stretch of Cape Cod, listen closely after dark. And if you hear the whispers, don't answer.